My opponent has forced me to go first, which is fine. My starting hand, I have my Destroy, I've got duel, the Dust Tornado, the Gimmick Puppet spell card, and Torrential Tribute. I can't really do anything. I was hoping with Destroy to have other Gimmick Puppets in my hand. That way I could special summon 2 cards. I'll set my Torrential Tribute. And my Dust Tornado. And I'll end my turn. My opponent has summoned one of the Fallen of Albaz monsters. It has 1,800 attack points, and I know it's part of an entire archetype that relies on heavy fusion summoning. My opponent's running a Cyber Dragon style of deck in combination with it to activate Cybernetic Horizon. They draw into their Cyber Dragon Nashta. And use its effect to send a card to the graveyard to special summon itself. And they revive a Cyber Dragon. It's a at this point I think there's enough of a threat for me to activate Torrential Tribute. To wipe out my opponent's board. And they can't do anything else, so they end their turn. I draw into Humpty Dumpty. I'll normal summon the Humpty Dumpty and use its effect. This will allow me to special summon a Gimmick Puppet. I believe it's from my hand. So yes, it's going to be the Destroy or the Duel. I opt for Duel. And I'll be link summoning using those two monsters. I'll be using its effect to search for a Gimmick Puppet monster. I'm not quite sure of what I should be searching for, so I am having a quick review of it. Given the situation, there isn't anything guaranteed that'll be that useful. So I end up going with Egghead. And special summoning that to my side of the field. I activate the effect of my Duel in the graveyard, so this will banish the Humpty Dumpty. And my opponent just decides to quit. It's a shame because I could have been able to go into an Xyz monster there. I've redeemed another 50 gems, but that's not going to be useful for now. It's not enough for me to even start looking at new packs. I'm going to have a check of the featured cards, which ones we're missing. Yeah, we're missing Dyson Sphere, the 2 Chaos Succeeds monsters, but I don't think anything else we're missing. So it's just the very end of the most key part of the decks. Since we've got a secret rare, hopefully we'll get one of those that we're missing. We've got Armed Dragon in there, a Ice Barrier. We have a couple of the Gimmick Puppet cards, and I think there's a Cliffort card in there. So this, because that's a secret rare, will unlock the Ice Barrier pack. Now we're up for the next duel. I've made no changes to the current deck. As it stands, it's just exactly as you saw it when we had it built at the beginning. There is a Gimmick Puppet Destroy, there's Egghead, there's a Bisque Doll, Torrential Tribute, and Waking the Dragon. We'll start by setting Destroy. Because my opponent's not going to understand or know what we're playing, I've not given them any clues. They have no direction in which to challenge me on. I'll set both the Torrential Tribute and the Waking the Dragons. If they happen to destroy the wrong card, if they go after the Waking the Dragon, I'm then able to just special summon any of my Xyz monsters, ignoring their conditions. My opponent's running a Cyber Dragon deck. So the Cyber Darks, that one he sends to the graveyard and he's able to search for Cyber Dark Horn. The effect of Cyber Dark Claw, by discarding it, they're able to search for one of their Cyber Dark based spell or trap cards. They then activate their Cybernetic Horizon, searching for their Cyber Dark Keel. They normal summon the Cyber Dark Horn and equip a different Cyber Dark from their graveyard. I'm debating whether to use a Torrential Tribute, and I decide just to clear it immediately before they can get any more combos. The idea is if they'd gone into the Cyber Dark Horn and then been able to attack with the equip card, it can then send a card from the deck to the graveyard, and it's really a tragic problem because then they can recover those cards, use those as part of the materials for their other Cyber Dark cards, and it makes things a lot more annoying to deal with. better to cut them off immediately and get rid than to be in a difficult situation. I'll just set the cards I don't have anything able to do. My opponent's still thinking about how they're going to respond to my torrential tribute, but oh, they do have an additional play. They have the additional summon thanks to that effect. They're summoning their Cyberdark Keel, activating its effect to equip the Cyberdark Claw from their graveyard. That will make it a 2400 attack monster. They set another card face down, and they attack me directly. With Cyberdark Claw's effect, they're able to send a fusion monster from the X deck to the graveyard. My opponent then just goes straight to the end phase. I draw into my Humpty Dumpty, which is fine. So I'll start off by normal summoning the Humpty Dumpty and triggering off its effect. They activate their Cyberdark Invasion, which is the continuous trap card. And they've equipped another monster to them. That boosts their attack points by another 1000. I choose to special summon the Egghead in attack mode. I'll overlay the two cards together to actually bring out the Link monster. I'm forced to really use the effect. I'll search out for the Shadow Feeler, and that goes straight to the hand. But I won't be special summoning it to the field. I think that was a mistake on my part because I believe its effect to recover itself has to happen from the graveyard. So I should have summoned that in defense mode because it still would have had the protection from destruction effect. Although saying that, if my opponent had Cyberdark Core, they had the Cyberdark Horn on the field, they would be able to still do the piercing battle damage. My opponent activates their field spell, being able to send the Cyberdark Keel back to the hand, getting rid of the equip card, and then re-equipping that monster, the Cyberdark Claw. With the effect, they're able to equip the Cyber End Dragon from the graveyard to them, as well as the Cyberdark Claw, and they set another monster face down. With the Cyberdark Claw's effect, they send another of their extra deck monsters to the graveyard. I take a significant amount of damage, plus the 300 points of effect damage from being destroyed by Cyberdark Keel. And my opponent ends their turn. I'm in a lot of trouble at the moment. Don't exactly know how I'm going to get out of this. And I don't know whether the cards that I'm going to draw now are going to make that much difference. If I had a Harpy's Feather Duster, maybe that would make sense because I'd just be wiping out 5 of their cards. Or even a Lightning Storm right now would be good. But as you can see, I've got the Jelly Cannon, which is okay, it's fine, but it's not really going to help me for now. It'll get rid of and deal with 1 card, that's it. I have no choice but to summon the doll by sending the Shadow Feeler to the graveyard. set the jelly cannon face down and end my turn. My opponent activates their spell card, I think that's called Fusion Tag, to name a Cyber End Dragon, and they bring out a Cyber Dragon through that effect. And they activate their Power Bond spell card. Now, this is where it gets absolutely funny. You wait and see what they summon. They fuse everything they've got to bring out. Pause the video and let me see what you guess. That's it. You got it. If you've got the answer is the Chimera Tech Overdragon, you're correct. The problem with summoning that card is it's got so many weaknesses. Firstly, it can only attack monsters, so if all your monsters are in defense mode, it can't attack you directly. Second problem, it wipes out, when it's summoned, all of your other cards. So either you win during that turn, or you lose, because it's getting rid of everything. So at this point, my opponent's just activated an attack. I just activate Jelly Cannon. I send that back to my opponent's extra deck. And there's nothing they can do about it. They can't recover anything, they can't do anything. And because they've summoned it by the power of Power Bond, they'll be taking some effect damage at the end phase. That is just so arrogant of him, just to think he could instantly win. He could have won without that card, but he chose to lose. And there you go. He takes half the amount of damage, which is 3,200 points. Luckily, I draw into my junk puppet, so I should be able to recover a junk monster, one of the gimmick puppets from the graveyard. And I've got a few selections to choose from. Most likely be going for a level 8 monster. Yeah, I go for the Shadow Feeler, and the whole point is to go for a rank 8 Xyz monster. I will then overlay the two monsters to summon number 40 Gimmick Puppet of Strings. I'll then go straight into a direct attack. It's a shame I don't have any other backup plans or other monsters to finish my opponent off, but at least 3,000 points of damage will bring him down to 1,800 life points. I think I'll end my turn there. And unless my opponent is very lucky with what they draw, in most likelihood they're going to lose. They use their fusion tag. I'm guessing again they're probably going for a Cyber Dragon. And they end the turn. Now it really depends on what I draw into now, if I can win during this turn. Yeah, with Scissor Arms I don't even need to really do anything, I can just attack with number 40, attack with Scissor Arms, and that's done. But I'm probably going to use its effect anyway when it's normal summoned to send a card from the deck to the graveyard. I'll send the yugioh to the graveyard. And I'll attack using number 40 Gimmick Puppet Strings. Followed up by Scissor Arms. With this, I get a few more gems, so I have access to certain cards. Hopefully I can pick them up now. That's a further 40 gems from the boosted bonus pass. And we've drawn into an invoked monster, a Tannhauser Gate, the Solar Jet. Nothing really powerful enough, nothing influential, just very weird pack. Again, nothing great. There's a Tech Genus card, there's a card which synergizes with Pendulum Summoning. There's a couple of the gimmick puppets I've probably got multiples of now. This is a secret rare in there, so hopefully we will be getting something that we're missing. This is Fog King, Polymerization, multiple of these gimmick puppet cards. There is a Ice Barrier card, and then something else which is just not relevant. Beta the Magnet Warrior, there's a couple of Planet Pathfinders, Junk Puppet, the Junk Revival card, there's the Gimmick Puppet, Doll. There is nothing in this one either. There's a couple of Blue Eyes White Dragon support, the Tannhauser Gate. There's a Synchro Monster. I think that's the Cloud Castle card. There is a Destiny Hero card, nothing useful. There is the wolf creature that's used by the Nordic deck. Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon. Several gimmick puppets we've got multiples of. There's the Zexal weapon Sleipnir Male. This was used in the duel against number 96 Dark Mist. I think it was used basically to destroy him. It was able to revive the Utopia for Utopia to go in for a direct attack. It also just generally boosts Utopia's attack points by 1,000. So it's not something to sneeze about, but it's fine. It's a decent enough equip effect. this one we've got 2 of the deep cruiser 9s. Finally we've got another copy of that, which is the rank up magic card. This Ghost Bird of Bewitchment, so this one has the effect of, depending on where it's pointed, where it's centered within your field, it gains various effects. One has 1,000 attack point boost, one has a negation effect. Generally it's a very niche card if you're going to run it. And we've unlocked several other packs in this. Not that I'm complaining, I think that's okay. We'll see how much of this we've completed. Again, we're still missing those 3 key Xyz monsters. But everything else has been completed. It's just the 3 most important cards that we're missing. Well, Dyson Sphere isn't that important, but it'd be nice to have. Back into deck editing, we'll see what we've got to work with. I think we might actually start crafting some of these just because it's only a few cards and we might as well just get rid of some of the useless cards. I wonder if we've actually got anything we can craft with some of the rarities beyond the normal and the rares. Secret rares, I don't think so. The ultra rares are going to be even more difficult to do that with. My general rule is I'll keep 3 copies of any card because that's the maximum you can run in any deck. Anything spare beyond that we'll get rid of unless, for example, it's of a higher rarity. So we've got so many of the Tannhauser Gate. Don't get me wrong, I love Tannhauser Gate. It's one of the easy ways of bringing out a Xyz monster that's a high rank which requires 2 materials. If it's generic enough. So for example with number 9 Dyson Sphere, it can be easily brought out with having a level 5 monster and a level 4 monster. Which is what Quentin did when he was using it in the anime. He used Tannhauser Gate between that Solar Jet card, which is the level 5, and with the Planet Pathfinder, which is the level 4, to make them both level 9s, overlaid them, and then he used it against Kite. I think this is actually in the Duel Carnival. This Cataclysmic card, I don't even know what it's worth. But at the moment it's just not feasible to run it as deck. I've got all the Subterra cards that I need, so those will be going as well. Generators, I know roughly how they work. They work on these tokens that are summoned to your field. And then you can actually tribute over them to bring these high level monsters out. You've only got a couple of smaller ones, most of them are quite hefty and high level. Yeah, and this card is the bane of my existence. I can get the Chaos version of you, but I can't get the normal version. Same exact story with this one. how are you guys enjoying Master Duel? I know it has changed a bit from the introduction of it, and some players have really enjoyed those changes, some people have kind of found them boring. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments, and we can have a bit of a discussion about it. Personally for me, I have been playing since it originally came out, even though this is a new account. I have my mobile phone account, which I keep separate, which is more so my competitive account. On that, I do use various decks. I do have some of the Dragunity cards, I have the Armed Dragons, I've got the Nordic Gods. My favourite deck to run is Armed Dragon mixed with Dragunities, but even beyond that, I do like... The other deck I really like is the one that was used by Jim Crocodile Cook in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Season 3. It was for the fossils. They were fossil fusion cards. So they would banish your card and a certain level monster from your opponent's graveyard, and you would get, depending on that, a certain criteria of fusion monster. I think if it was level 4 or below, it was just your standard 2000 attack monster fusion. There's Skull Knight, which was if you used a level 5 or 6. And there was Skull King if you used a level 7 or higher. There was also Yugioh, which was... It was technically the boss in terms of his attack points, but Skull King was the one that was associated most with Jim Cook. Yugioh required a level 8 specifically to summon it. And we don't... Oh, there we go. We have the ability to craft at least one version of the Giant Hunter. It's really stupid that I have to do that just to get that card. And I'm just debating whether I should get a second copy, and I actually decide to go for number 15. Just so I have a couple of those to bring that out. I personally, out of the Gimmick Puppet monsters, out of the Exceeds monsters from 15, 40, and Gimmick Puppet of Leo, my favourite one would probably be, I would say number 15, even though it's the weakest in terms of its attack stat and it is quite passive. It can respond to your opponent, it can wipe them out, and if it happens to be an Exceeds monster your opponent controls, they lose life points equal to that monster's attack points. And it can use its effect multiple times in a turn. In the anime, it can only use that effect, I think, once, and it just damages your opponent like that. I would say that my least favourite is probably the Gimmick Puppet of Strings, because your opponent can interact with that card quite quickly. It takes more than a turn for the destruction base on its effect to kick into effect. Happens during the end phase of the next turn it's been activated to give everything one of these puppet counters, and that's a massive weakness and massive downside to how it works. I know you can then rank it up to become its chaos version, and it can destroy all monsters with these string counters, but I also wish that had been inbuilt into its own effect rather than having to rely on something else being summoned. I also think it's just too generic a type of card. I think it would have been better if it had a bonus style of effect within there. And I think Gimmick Puppet of Leo it's fine, but it does have a lot of weaknesses to it as well. It has the massive downside of you not being able to run any back row to be able to trigger off that effect. And it cannot battle, so you're continuing to give your opponents the freedom to go off without challenging them, and that's never a good idea. Hopefully now, with the additions we've got, this will make enough of a difference within the deck to make it more consistent. I've made, as we were talking, as I was discussing, a couple of changes just to bring it a bit more up to speed. So there was a couple of the Drury dolls that were brought in, a couple of other support cards just to boost the numbers, and as I said before, number 15, I thought I needed another copy of that. There's no point in me having an additional copy of Giant Hunter when Giant Grinder I only had the one copy anyway.